afternoon. It is day 2 of the Republican National Convention. We're live here inside the Convention Command Center, and we've got you covered from protests to security to how you get around downtown.
Hey, good afternoon. Let's begin our live team coverage with our John Kosick live on the convention floor. And John got really rowdy this time yesterday. Are we expecting the same thing today?
The possibility exists on any day, but obviously probably not. This is tonight where Donald Trump's name is going to be placed officially in the nomination with a roll call of states. This is the Ohio delegation microphone where someone will step forward later and say something to the effect that, Mr. Chair, the proud state of Ohio, home of astronauts, presidents, and the world champion Cavaliers, proud to cast their 66 delegates for. In this case, it will be John Kasich because he did win the state. The one difference this year will be the fact that the chair will actually recognize those 66 delegates, something that didn't happen 4 years ago. The state that will put Donald Trump over the top will be his home state of New York. They're located right in front of the center stage. That's usually an honor given to them. So you'll see some states skipping early on. That's primarily the reason that is taking place. Now, 4 years ago, John Kasich was the one who put those names, those delegates of Mitt Romney into the fold. He, of course, not here Tuesday night of that convention. He also spoke last year, not speaking tonight. Those speaking tonight include 2 of Donald Trump's children, Donald Trump Jr. and Tiffany, as well as 2 former rivals, Ben Carson and Chris Christie. I spoke with Chris Christie earlier, and coming up tonight at 5, we'll hear what he has to say, a message, he said, for his good friend, John Kasich. Reporting live from the floor of the convention center, John Kosick, News Channel 5.
All right, John, we'll see you in a bit. Well, 11 GOP staffers sick right now with maybe the norovirus. That, according to the Erie County Health Department, all of them staying at the Kalahari Resort in Sandusky.
And that's where our Kristen Volk joins us live right now. Kristen, those staffers are confined to their hotel rooms.
That's right, Danita, confined to their rooms. 2 of them are pregnant. Those 2, we're told, went to the hospital. They are now back out and back here at the resort. But it is important to note that the health department says they do not believe those staffers contracted the virus here at Kalahari. Instead, the department believes the group picked it up prior to their arrival at the airport or on the plane. Now, officials are investigating. Test results from all 11 victims are expected back tomorrow. That will determine whether the group does indeed have the norovirus, which is highly contagious and can be transmitted by people, food, water, or touching contaminated surfaces. The symptoms are vomiting, diarrhea, nausea, and stomach pain, all symptoms which the health department says the staffers have. The ill staffers are part of a planning team for the California delegation. The first of them fell sick Thursday when the group arrived. More of them got sick Friday. The health department explained to us that they are hopeful that the outbreak is contained, but as you're about to hear, it's too soon to tell.
Folks usually with noro-type virus stay ill for 2 days, maybe 3 days, but the danger with it is what we call a secondary transmission. They start to feel better after 2 days, and they get up and around, and you know, if it's a mom, she might start taking care of the family in some way, and she's still a carrier. So we see a secondary transmission occur.
Kalahari declined our request for an interview this afternoon, but in a statement they told us they are working with government officials to make sure that they are exceeding all health and sanitation requirements. Live in Sandusky, I'm Kristen Volk, News Channel 5.
Well, day 2 of the convention, protest groups from across the country are still here in our city. Many of them spreading out today, setting up outside RNC events.
Yeah, our Tara Molina tracking all the demonstrations here in Cleveland. She joins us now live with the latest. So, Tara, what's going on right now?
Well, guys, I have been all over the city following these protests and demonstrations. A lot of people here this week to get their message out. But I'm here to report to you every single one that we've seen has been peaceful. Outside the hustle and bustle of the city. And right in the middle of it. Protest groups spreading out throughout Cleveland, day 2 of the convention. This pro-choice group told me they heard about a pro-life group lunching at First Energy.
The preservation of life is our goal.
And decided to set up and turn their volume up right away.
Free country, and we recognize their energy.
Trying to show them exactly what a patient experiences from the harassing protests that women experience outside abortion clinics.
Become president.
Some groups gathering in public square to make their voices heard.
I think people should show up and be seen and heard, though, as is our right and our duty as Americans.
Others
just out here to make people smile.
Only here to lighten the mood.
Come to Cleveland and have some fun, you know? It's a great city. I love my city.
I checked in with Cleveland police earlier today. They prepared for the absolute worst when it comes to these protests. They told me they hope the rest of this week is as peaceful as these first 2 days have been. Live in Cleveland, Tara Molina, News Channel 5.
All right, and that is good news to hear that all the protests have been peaceful and we haven't had anything to disrupt what's happening here these past 2 days.
Yeah, let's check in now. Dominique Ricks is out in Cleveland with another protest. Dom, what's going on right now?
Yeah, Chris and Danita, you know, you guys just said very peaceful so far, and that had been the scene until about, well, really about 4 minutes ago. At the top of the hour here at 4 o'clock, we're in Public Square, by the way. There are about 4,500 people, a very large crowd that has gathered as of right now. Several different groups are out here. We heard from Westboro Baptist not too long ago, but when the tension started, it was the Alex Jones group. Actually, Alex Jones himself was speaking in front of this crowd. He is part of Infowars.com. It's a conspiracy website. There are mixed reports coming in. Some say that he actually may have assaulted Calvin Williams, maybe punched him. Those are unconfirmed reports at this time. What I can tell you is we were actually standing here just a few feet away from where that protest was happening, and we saw him up there speaking, and then we saw a bunch of officials rushing. I'm talking maybe 50 officials rushing to the front here of the stage right here. It's not clear, again, what exactly transpired or what exactly happened. All we did see, though, is Alex Jones being escorted by several officials all the way through here, Public Square, to the back of the building here. What is that street there? Off of Superior, behind this building. So we don't know where Alex Jones is at this time. I'm assuming he is probably in police custody. Again, the details are coming in really second by second, minute by minute, and we are just trying to get a hold and grasp on what exactly is going on. Now, that was at 4 o'clock. Right now, as you can see, everything is nice and calm yet again. Nothing really to write home about, nothing really to report. Very peaceful, very calm, just one incident at 4 o'clock. So we are out here again at Public Square. We will keep our finger on the pulse of everything that's happening here with the RNC and bring you details as we have them. Again, I just want to give you guys the scene here. About 4,500 people. You are looking at the video right now of what happened. Reggie Young, our videographer, capturing these moments of Alex Jones being taken into custody. He is a individual who owns Infowars.com. It's a conspiracy website. Now, it has been confirmed, I'm just getting these details into my hands right now. It is confirmed that a protester did, in fact, push Chief Calvin Williams. Again, confirmed that a protester did, in fact, push Calvin Williams here, 4 o'clock, Public Square. So, again, I just want to give you a look at the scene. About 4,500 people out here right now. Very peaceful, very peaceful. Police and the public together, very peaceful. Protests continue. We will continue to stay out here and bring you the latest developments as anything comes up. Reporting live in Public Square in Cleveland, Dominique Ricks, News Channel 5.
All right, Dom, let's hope it keeps peaceful out there at Public Square. All right. Well, meanwhile, day 2 of the Republican National Convention starts with arrests.
Tracy Carl is at the Convention Center with what happened.
It happened this morning at the Rock Hall, bringing the number of people arrested to 5. One by one, protesters who climbed a flagpole outside of the Rock Hall to hang a banner this morning were arrested. So far, the RNC has been peaceful with only a handful of arrests. The Cleveland police told us they are still in a cautious posture. CPD has the help of thousands from across the country and the state to help protect this historic event. We discovered police from Indiana, Florida, and California as we made our way around the city today. And those police are playing a huge part in keeping the peace.
We don't let our guard down. I think our outside agencies that are out there that you see walking on the square and around downtown and uptown, I think they're kind of getting their sea legs, and they kind of see the way we do things, and they're more engaging to people, and they respond a lot quicker. They know what to do exactly when they get there, even if our guys aren't there with them right at that moment.
Another part of keeping the peace is the bike patrol. I'm told there are about 150 bike officers per shift. For the Now in Cleveland, Tracy Carlos.
And we're showing you what happens at the convention, but what about the parties? Investigator Sarah Buddison takes us inside one of last night's private gatherings during our RNC special tonight at 7 o'clock right here on News Channel 5.
All right, it's a terrific Tuesday weather-wise. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Mark Johnson to get more details. Hi, Mark.
Not bad. This is why Greater Cleveland, Northern Ohio is one of the best locations in the nation to be, especially this week. Look at this. Bright, sunny skies over downtown. Barely a cloud in the sky anywhere across Northern Ohio. Current temps 87 in Akron. We had 90 degrees last hour at Dover, New Philly. They've dropped one to 89. Cleveland, 84. It's 86 degrees in Mentor. We'll show you our dry radar. Ground clutter here, ground clutter there. 5 live radars, not seeing any precipitation, and we will stay dry. So your evening looks like this. Downtown, very comfortable weather in the 70s all the way through 10 p.m. By midnight, convention should be wrapping up, 72 comfortable degrees. Here's the Akron-Canton area in the 80s through 7, and then slowly falling into the 60s with barely a cloud in the sky. Are you ready for a heat wave? Anyone? Heat wave coming your way, hottest air of the summer. Next.
Okay, Mark, we have much more to come on the Now Cleveland as we cover the Republican National Convention.
Coming up, we get a look inside the RTA Command Center as they keep an eye on the city from a traffic standpoint.
Plus, it is the talk of speeches last night. Coming up, we examine Melania Trump's speech to see if she really plagiarized.
All right, you're looking live right now at our beautiful city. You heard Mark. It's great weather day here in Cleveland. You need to get outside and enjoy. But after you watch News Channel 5, we're coming back in just 3 minutes.
Okay, guys, we are back. It is 4:15, and we are in the heart of this protest. We are in the thick of it. It is about 4:15 right now. In the last 15 minutes, this has taken a full turn. You see a group here. You see a lot of profanity, so we apologize for that if that's coming across your radar here. Apparently, right here, we have Westboro Baptist Church, and a few things have been said. They were chanting a few minutes ago that Black lives, if they truly mattered, Black people would stop aborting their children. That was the comment that was made, and right after that comment was made, this crowd just erupted. You can see we're in the middle of this right now. This lady here appears to be in charge of what might be going on or so. Lots of people chanting, a lot of people upset. Let's listen in.
Violence that these people are, that they represent, this is violence. Them coming here telling us that God hates us, that Trump is going to be the next president and he's going to separate us and put us in jail and separate people from their families. No, we don't have time for that. This is not welcome here. This is not welcome here. We have to make a stand.
And so how do you respond to people that say all lives matter, that Black Lives Matter is inciting violence? How do you respond to that?
Show me with your actions that all lives matter. Show me with your actions that you actually...
So as you can see there, the main theme is show me that your actions matter. A lot of people visibly upset at this hour right now saying that all lives matter, Black lives matter. Westboro, again, I'm going to walk here. Walk with me. We're going to go through the crowd, get a little bit closer. We're going in the thick of this right now. Westboro is to my right here. They're holding signs. You can see one says, America, time for you to bless God. Righteousness excelleth a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. The second sign says, every real Muslim is a jihadist. Signs, there's 4 of them up there that are very offensive, clearly, by reading those, and people are not having that at this hour. So again, this crowd has grown. It was about 4,500 at 4 o'clock, and now we're looking at, there's probably, I'm 5'7", I can't see all the way across the crowd here, but there's probably easily 5,500 people at this time. More police officers are around the perimeter. They have all just come running in. I just spoke to one a few minutes ago. Reggie, if we can turn the camera right here, you'll see more officials making their way to the stage. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 walking there. There's more behind me and more behind our videographer to the left. So yes, the police are definitely here making their presence known, making sure that this doesn't escalate any further than it already has. Now, since we went live, you can see it's a little bit calmer right now. There's a gentleman up here on a megaphone. Let's listen in and see what he's saying. Okay, so we're right up here up front. It's very hard to hear what that individual is saying up there. But again, this is Westboro Baptist Church. You'll see a full band of officers all the way around this stage, protecting these people, protecting everyone here. And that's the main message, making sure everyone here is safe. And as of right now, things are safe and very calm as of right now. Reporting live in Cleveland at Public Square, Dominique Ricks, News Channel 5.
Hey, Dome, before you go, are there a lot of people reacting or a lot of people just kind of standing around watching to see what happens right now?
Yeah, Chris, actually, a lot of people right now are just standing watch. A lot of people just kind of witnessing and taking in exactly what's going on. A lot of people actually kind of visibly in shock, trying to comprehend exactly what happened and what is going on. When we first came back from the commercial break, there was a lot of commotion and a lot of action going on. Right now, as you see, pretty calm. Not a lot going on. So I guess that is the good news here as of right now, that people are remaining calm. Officers, as you can see, there are hundreds of officers out here, making sure that the thousands of people, citizens, and the public that are out here remain safe. Chris, back to you.
Okay, Dub, thanks. Yeah, you be safe as well.
We do need to note that a lot of the calm is because of how the officers are handling themselves, that they are not coming across as aggressive, so therefore it's not inciting them to get any hotter than they already are emotionally, and that plays a big role when you have a crowd of that size, over 4,500 people.
And you notice that police officers there behind Dome, they were not in riot gear.
Correct.
They were in their regular dress uniform, police uniforms.
Plays a big role in how it all goes out.
Okay.
Well, we do know that there are eyes all over Cleveland right now, making sure that you can get around the city.
Yeah, 5 on your side, investigator Jonathan Walsh got access to a special command center for public transportation. And JW, this is really for special events.
Yeah, when you have this many people coming to town all at the same time, you need to do things a little bit differently, especially as we look out in front of our windshield here when you're dealing with traffic and closed roads. That's why the Greater Cleveland Regional Transit Authority put together this special room with big screens all around RTA employees that are watching what's happening in our city. Hundreds of cameras are keeping an eye on service levels of public transportation, how many people are using the rails and buses, and then RTA can make changes based on those issues. There's also the security element, of course, to all of this, as 150 transit cops got a little bit extra help this week, 36 additional people coordinating with Homeland Security, TSA, and air marshals. All of this activity happening in downtown with the RNC, well, RTA has to be able to respond to various situations.
There was a period yesterday where there was concerns about people on the bridge, and we heard of a few rumors about are there snipers there, which there weren't, okay? But again, that stopped traffic for a while. So again, if traffic stopped, how do we best respond to get the buses back on their normal schedule?
And RTA has to react to the increased traffic congestion like we've seen all day right here on Euclid and other areas as well. Coming up at 6 o'clock, you're going to hear from riders of RTA about getting around and what kinds of resources RTA is really putting into safety and transportation. Reporting live, I'm investigator Jonathan Walsh for The Now. Let's send it back to Kristen Byrne.
All right, thanks so much, Jonathan. Love seeing you in that car. You're doing a great job for us. All right, we do have the same congestion that we saw yesterday for that evening commute. Starting early here, 90 westbound. You're backed up from East 55th once again, right as you get to the Interbelt Bridge. Remember, the Interbelt Bridge, one lane in each direction, both east and westbound. So that is why we're seeing that congestion coming in from the west side. Remember, during the day, it's like that. At night, it's closed, 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. So the alternates, use that Shoreway, that other option for you. Take 77, and then you can get 490 westbound if you have to head out west. I know you're going to be dealing with that congestion regardless. Let's take a look at that highway ODOT camera for you here. This is State Route 2. Actually, this is Chester and 90 westbound. So the other camera I was seeing also showing that congestion delays. Expect it if you're coming in from the east side. We're going to have a lot more coming in after this break. More RNC coverage for you.
All right, guys, we are here. Welcome back. We are here in the middle of this protest here at Public Square. Dominique Ricks chanting right now, Black Lives Matter. A change from Black Lives Matter to Blue Lives Matter. We want freedom. As you can see, people visibly upset, saying they want freedom, saying that police officers are racist. That's the current chant going on right now. Very loud out here, guys. We are actually enclosed in the middle of this, so there is actually no getting out for us right now. There are about 5,000 people here right now. As you see, several police officers in the thick of it, but they are calm. People obviously trying to instigate a little bit here, but police officers are standing very calm. Listen, we don't need them, back up, we want freedom, saying back up, they want freedom. You'll see several people out here with masks. Identities are hidden right now. I don't know if it's because they don't want to be identified or what exactly is going on. We're looking around here in the crowd. Literally everyone has kind of rushed here to the middle. It's hard to see because I am low down here, but there are probably about 5,000 people here. Right now they're chanting, "You cannot stop the revolution." People visibly upset. Why are you out here today?
I'm out here because I support Trump and I believe that he should be the next president.
Yeah? Why are you with this group? Can you turn for me here?
I'm just trying to see how the protests are going and what's going on and if they're causing any trouble. And I'm kind of curious to see what it's like.
Yeah, what do you think so far of how it's going?
I think everything they've done has been peaceful, even though I don't agree with what they're saying. And they're not causing any trouble from what I've seen, except for back over there when Alex Jones is hit.
Okay, so as of right now, remaining pretty peaceful. I want to actually get back in here. Several officers, there's something going on here in the middle. Looks pretty calm, though. So again, Again, pretty peaceful scene out here, but there's a lot going on this side, so I want to get over here. We're going to send it back inside to you guys, and I'll come back out here in a few minutes. Reporting live in Public Square, Dominique Ricks, News Channel 5.
All right, great, Dome. Great way to paint the picture and the mood that's happening in downtown Cleveland right now.
Certainly. Okay, Dome, thanks for checking with you in a moment. All right, still to come on the Now Cleveland. No question, a lot of people in town for the convention, as we're seeing here. Airports have been packed, but there is one gateway you may have forgotten about.
Plus, we take a look at who you can expect to take the stage tonight at Quicken Loans Arena.
And the heat is building to our west, and guess where it's headed later on this week? To you. More on that coming up.
And video just into the Now Cleveland. Take a look here. Cleveland Police Chief Calvin Williams pushed during a demonstration down at Public Square. This is the aftermath of it. You see hundreds of people rushing, following the chief there after a guy by the name of Alex Jones got arrested. He runs a conspiracy website. This happened down at Public Square at the top of the hour. Right now, about 5,000 people, including many protesters, down on Public Square. Westboro Baptist Church among them. They had the megaphone. Of course, they are no strangers to controversy. They certainly go all over the country protesting and picketing at various areas. But again, this is Public Square where the chief got pushed. Hundreds of police officers and troopers trying to keep the peace right now. According to Dominique Ricks, our reporter on scene, said things are actually pretty calm right now. Different factions, a lot of yelling going on, but the police we saw keeping it really calm and peaceful down there. Again, at Public Square, where the Cleveland Police Chief Calvin Williams was pushed just a moment ago. And one person has been taken away, you can see there, to police headquarters.
Well, delegates, media, and visitors, they are hustling and bustling about Cleveland Hopkins and also Burke Lakefront airports. But there is one gateway to the city that many people aren't thinking of.
Yeah, that's right. With the flight restrictions in place now, the Cuyahoga County Airport has been another hub of activity. That's where we find John Rudder and Air Tracker 5. And John, traffic picking up there as well?
Yeah, Chris, Needed, I guess you could say they may be flying under the radar compared to that attention at Hopkins and Burke. But the trickle-down effect is really causing some big challenges at Cuyahoga County Airport. With more than 100 flights going in and out, it's creating some similar issues that some of the other airports that we've visited are dealing with. Safety, security, and just where to put all of these aircraft that are coming into town. It's a busy time here at the Cuyahoga County Airport. Flights landing and departing and travelers coming and going.
This week we've seen a real unprecedented volume. It's a great challenge to handle this level of volume and not allow the service experience to diminish.
A challenge that Aaron Thayer and his crew at Cleveland Jet Center have been preparing for 2 years.
New windows and a revamped heating and cooling system, just some of the $2 million worth of improvements invested in the airport. And with the Republican National Convention officially underway, it's all hands on deck to handle the uptick in traffic.
And there's a lot of aircraft owners here on the field who are here with us volunteering their time. There are a lot of folks that work for some other companies here who are coming after work in the evenings and pitching in.
No detail has been spared to deliver the full Cleveland experience, one that's safe, snug, and secure.
It speaks to what Cleveland has to offer. People walk through the doors and they say, wow, I didn't expect to find this here.
Conference rooms transformed into extra lounges. They've even gone so far as to hire a security consultant to coordinate a safety plan with the FAA, the TSA, and other agencies.
Security is key to aviation, so we led with that. We hired a couple of companies to provide some extra on-site security. The county brought in some protective services with the county to ensure that the airport had some extra eyes.
Now to even prep his staff, Thayer actually took his staff to his crew to Augusta, Georgia for the Masters with 3,000 flights for the weekend. It's the largest private aviation event, he tells me, in the country. Plenty of practice for the Republican National Convention. Chris and Divya.
Certainly is. All right, John Rudder, high above Northeast Ohio in Air Tracker 5 this afternoon.
All right, we're going to back down to Public Square right now where Dominique Ricks is on the ground. Protesters very emotional, but Dominique, as you keep saying, it still is peaceful.
You know, Danita and Chris, it is a very emotional scene out here today. Really, this all kicked off. We're in Public Square at about 4 o'clock. Now, what I want you to do, I feel like I'm kind of in like a split world right now. If you look over to my left side, Reggie, our videographer, has panned over to the left. You will see hundreds of police officers, everything here from Highway State Patrol to local officers. I saw a patch from Kansas. I saw a patch from California. I saw a patch from Indiana a few minutes ago. You will see hundreds of police officers. And what they are doing is they have created what I would call a barrier in between two different protest groups. So over here, if you follow my finger, you'll see one protest group happening there. The signs say America was never great. We need to overthrow the system. That's what the signs on this side say. Now, if you pan over this way toward me, Reggie, pan over this way, you will see Westboro Baptist Church over here to my left. In the middle, again, you will see hundreds of officers who are dividing these protest groups right now to ensure people stay safe. Now, a few seconds ago, we did see Kelvin Williams back out here. I'm trying to locate him right now. There's obviously a lot of people out here, but Kelvin Williams is back. You'll recall around 4 o'clock today, he was actually pushed by one of the protesters out here. That person has since been apprehended. Now, come back to me here, Reggie, real quick. If you pan over to the other side, you will see several officers over here. We also have police officers on horseback. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 officers on horseback. There's a lot going on, so I have Reggie kind of spinning all over the place right now. But over here, if you follow my finger, you'll see several police officers on horseback, several officers in white uniform, several officers in blue and gray uniform. Again, this crowd has almost doubled in size since we have gotten out here. Public Square is honestly filled to capacity. If you're joining us right now, Public Square, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of action, and we are in the heart of it here on News Channel 5. You will see police officers right here in the center of Public Square. They are dividing two different protest groups. To my left, you will see Westboro Baptist Church. Again, they are saying Jesus is angry with you sinners, calling out several people in the crowd. They were calling out Muslims. They were calling out black people. A few minutes ago, the statement from Westboro is that if black lives actually matter, black people should stop aborting their children. That was a statement that came a few minutes ago from my left side right here. If you pan over, there's another group, a different group. Their signs say America was never great and we need to overthrow the system. Since 4 o'clock, the police presence here has no doubt quadrupled in size. There are police officers. I'm trying to give you guys the scope of how large this is, but it's really hard to put into words how many police officers are out here and how many people in the public are out here. I mean, people are flocking left and right from all corners of Public Square. This place is filled to capacity. We see several officers, probably in the, obviously in the hundreds. We're probably guessing maybe 300 between between here and all the way to my left. I don't know if you can see, Reggie, if you can pan over there. There's several officers on horseback as well. You see the white hats. Those are officers as well down in the corner. Now, Danita and Chris, you were asking about how calm and how peaceful are things right now. I was talking to our producer, Brittany Miller, and I was telling her a few minutes ago, it's a lot like a roller coaster out here, I should say. It's up and it's down. So 1 minute, there'll be a peak, and you'll see and hear protesters running to one side of Public Square, and you'll hear people chanting things like Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, All Lives Matter. You hear all kinds of things like that. Then it will calm down like it is right now. Then about 3 minutes later, you'll see another peak, and you'll see a bunch of people rush to another side and start chanting things. But again, the overall feel as of right now is very calm. You'll see several police officers. If you look at any of their faces, you'll see they look very calm. No one is aggressive as of this point in terms of the officers. Everyone's standing at peace, but they are here. They are making their presence known. There are hundreds of officers letting everyone know that they are here to protect and serve, and that is exactly what they are doing. Again, it is very hard to comprehend the amount of people who are out here right now. There are probably 6,000 people, and so they are doing a tremendous job keeping this crowd in order here at Public Square. We will continue to keep our eye on the pulse and our finger on the pulse and bring you updates as soon as we get them. Reporting live in Public Square in Cleveland, Dominique Ricks, News Channel 5.
I think it's great what Dominique was saying, how these types of protests, it is kind of a up and down kind of thing, Dominique. Yep. And you know, you never know. You just have to keep hoping that at the peaks that it stays. You can yell, let's just not go to any violence.
And the police said, you know, we're going to let protesters come out. First Amendment right, and you know, we saw the police officers there. They've been practicing that for months and months and months. Very well choreographed.
I'm sure that is a tactic that they've learned.
Indeed.
All right. Well, it is day 2 of the convention, and after a day of unrest and the first round of speakers, well, it's all in the books now.
Certainly is. Our team coverage continuing here with our own Leon Bibb. Leon is on one of the platforms inside the arena just below us here. So, Leon, how does it feel today compared to what happened yesterday?
Well, I'm telling you, they're still talking a little bit about it. Their speeches, by the way, scheduled for today, and I'll give you a list of some of the people who are going to be speaking in just a moment. But the speech of Melania Trump last night is still on the minds of so many people because it was so strikingly similar to that of First Lady Michelle Obama, which she delivered in the year 2008. Now, the speech is still resonating, however, in a negative way among the opposition, as you well know. But the Republicans really wanted this to be in control of this convention in every aspect of it. But this issue is still out there, and they're still trying to get their arms around it and still trying to quell that little bit of a firestorm. But the convention is moving along right now. This is day number 2, of course. The official nomination of Donald Trump is the big event that's going to take place tonight. Trump for president. And Trump will officially clinch that nomination during a roll call vote later on this evening. It will be a state-by-state roll call. And there could be, we're told, some vocal protests by the anti-Trump movement. But Trump indeed does have the 1,237 delegates he needs to be nominated for president of the United States. And there are going to be about 19 speakers on the platform this evening here at the RNC in downtown Cleveland. Among them will be Donald Trump Jr., the son, Tiffany Trump, Donald Trump's daughter, Speaker Paul Ryan, Senator Mitch McConnell, and Dr. Ben Carson, and Governor Chris Christie. They will be on the platform this evening here at the RNC. This is Leon Bibb for The Now. Let's go back to the anchor desk upstairs.
Okay, Leon, starting to fill up in the arena behind us here as we get going in another hour or so.
All right, and as you heard, a lot of speakers happening tonight. It wasn't dull last night. I don't think tonight will be dull either. Let's take another look inside the Republican National Convention here at Quicken Loans Arena. The delegates right beneath us, milling around. We'll be back in a minute. Roads are shut down.
Yeah, they certainly are. Let's get Kristen Byrne in the studio right now for a look at the best way to get around town.
Hey, Danita and Chris, so this is the same situation we were seeing for the evening commute yesterday. Congestion on 90 eastbound all the way because of the Interbelt Bridge. I should say westbound, really, because of those restrictions on the Interbelt Bridge. So the option, the Shoreway and 77 to 490. But look at this, the same issue we're seeing. 480 really congested and 271 not much better. You are backed up from before. 87 7, look at that, all the way to about the Columbus Road area. Let me show you those 2 spots we're seeing problems at. 90 westbound. The left side of your screen, our ODOT camera is showing us 90 westbound in Chester, the westbound lane. That's what's congested. The right side, that's 90 in the Shoreway as well. Again, you're going to want to get off of the Shoreway. Avoid that Interbelt Bridge. During the day, 1 lane in each direction. Then it closes 8 p.m. tonight to 2 a.m. this morning. All right, let's check in with John Rudder and the breaking news leader of the Sky, Air Tracker 5. Good afternoon.
Well, good afternoon. We're used to talking to you in the morning, aren't we? Well, we are flying outside of that TFR, and things look pretty good traffic-wise. And we touched on flight restrictions yesterday, but what do they really mean? Well, they actually break down into 3 different levels. There are 3 circles I've actually drawn on this map. A 3-mile temporary flight restriction is actually over the queue at all times. That's this little orange circle right here in the middle. That expands to 10 miles, this green circle, whenever there are convention activities taking place at the queue. There is always this red 30-mile circle, but that is just to kind of filter out some aircraft. The only people getting inside this 10-mile or this 3-mile are police, military, or any sort of medical helicopters. Now, we're flying outside the 10-mile zone, and to give you a look at what that might look like, I actually recorded a little bit of video here. Now, they're looking at downtown Cleveland right now, and it doesn't look like it might be too far away, but watch what happens whenever we zoom out. Looking kind of hazy out there, but you can see just how far away we actually are from the city and just how far away these restrictions actually keep you from the queue and from downtown. Have a look at that. I mean, you can barely see the city from here, or from Air Tracker 5 as we continue to zoom out, just barely seeing it through that camera lens. So just kind of in case you had any ideas that you might be getting close to downtown when any of those restrictions are in place, you might want to rethink that. Back to you.
All right, still to come on the Now Cleveland, the RNC hosting some younger delegates.
Out of all the delegates you may see this week, one of them sticks out the most. I spoke exclusively with him today about his very early start in politics.
Well, live look right now from Air Tracker 5, high above Northeast Ohio. Our coverage of Day 2 of the Republican National Convention continues in just moments.
Quiet here inside the Quicken Loans Arena, but outside in Public Square, we know there are protests happening right now.
Yeah, and for that, let's check in now with Homa Bash live in Public Square. Homa, what's the latest?
Well, guys, we've been out here for a couple of hours, and right now you can see behind me the police presence is more visible than it has been this entire week. We are in Day 2 of the RNC, and you can see there are officers from Cleveland, California, troopers from California, Columbus, and they are going about 5 rows deep over here, separating protesters. And on one side is a lot of Black Lives Matter protesters and other different groups that have been out here all day long. And then over here, Bridget, if you'll come over here, on the other side of this bike chain and this row of officers, that is Westboro Baptist on the other side. You can see some of those signs reading, "America, time for you to bless God. Every real Muslim is a jihadist. Stop being a sinner and obey Jesus." So that is kind of when this police presence increased triple-fold when Westboro Baptist got out here just before 4 o'clock here. And earlier we saw a bit of a scuffle with some of the protesters kind of getting into a bit of a scuffle. It was nothing major, and Cleveland police are telling us that, you're taking a look at that video, Cleveland police are telling us that there was no arrests made after that, but we'll check in and update you guys as soon as we know. But you're taking a look at that video from earlier that we shot, a little bit of that scuffle captured on camera. And back out here live, you can see these rows of police are out here. There are horse police on the other side. There are troopers all over. So the security presence is incredible out here. It's more than I have seen this entire time. They've really pulled out all of the forces to be out here. Again, you can see there are police officers and troopers going 4 rows deep, dividing everybody on this side away from Westboro Baptist Church protesters on the other side that are over there by the Soldiers Monument. Of course, we're going to be monitoring this situation for as long as it continues to go on. For right now, we'll send it back to you guys. Live in Public Square, Homa Bash, News Channel 5.
All right, thank you very much, Homa. You know, we've heard a lot about the key players in the convention, the main player being Donald Trump, and we've even gone into great detail about the security in and around the queue.
Yeah, Denise, but what about the delegates? There's so many here in Cleveland. What's their role, and how did they become one in the first place? All right, for that answer, let's turn now to Lauren Wilson, joining us live here in studio. Is it all parties and fun, Lauren?
You know, it's not all parties and fun, even though I'm sure those are a great time. But the delegates are actually handling a lot of things. They're voting and meeting on a lot of important issues, which is why the selection process is so important. I got the chance to talk with one of the youngest on the floor to see how it all happens. Starting yesterday, 2,600 delegates from every state filled the seats.
They're really taking care of business here.
Among them is Carter Mateer.
I'm so excited. This is just amazing. Even seeing the speakers I see on TV all the time, it's just amazing just being like, wow, like I'm actually watching them.
The 18-year-old is an alternative delegate from Colorado.
So the alternates are essentially like the understudies in a theater play. They stand in if a delegate can't make it.
One of the youngest, just fresh out of high school, his mom tells me he's always just had a thing for politics.
Well, he's blown me away since he was born. But at 10, when he found this passion, he brought us all on board.
In Colorado, Carter started off as the underdog in the race, but using every network he could think of, he beat out more than 60 potential delegates for one of the 6 seats.
I had like thousands of flyers. I got these like bunch of yellow flyers and I was just handing it out and just trying to meet as many people as possible.
Experts say that's exactly what it takes to get in the door.
To become a delegate, you have to get involved in the political party. And so this is where someone who even at the age of 17 could potentially become a delegate.
But it's not all glitz and glamour like you see. All of these delegates have to pay a pretty hefty price to get to these spots.
So it's a great honor to be chosen to be a delegate, but you still have to pay your way. And so you have to pay for your hotel, your transportation.
But regardless of the cost and the time it takes to get here, young Carter tells me the journey has been all worth it.
I'm loving it. I'm having a really great time.
Now, Carter plans to attend the University of Colorado Boulder this fall while keeping up his opportunities or responsibilities as a delegate for the state. So he's got a lot to juggle there.
He does. Pretty bright future as well.
Yeah, bright kid too.
Yeah,
Great experience for him.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Good job, Lauren. Thanks. All right, much more coming up from here at the Q as day 2 of the Republican National Convention continues.
And despite the madness, there were some good highlights from day 1. We're going to talk about that. And we'll have much more, so keep it right here on News Channel 5. We're coming back.
All right, despite the madness, there were some positive highlights from day 1 here at the convention.
And Chris, one memorable moment was the national anthem.
And the home of the brave.
What a voice. That is Marlana Van Hoos. Of course, we know her from the Cavs games, bringing down the house at the Republican National Convention. A 20-year-old born blind after suffering a viral infection that caused her optic nerve never to develop. Marlana says her disability did not stop her from recognizing her musical talent.
I started humming Jesus Loves Me as a baby before I could even talk. God gave me that gift of singing.
She certainly has a gift, and when asked what it takes to get ready to perform in front of a huge crowd, Marlana says it's an entertainer's secret. So she'll just have to keep us guessing.
Indeed, what a voice. All right, that is it for the now.
We'll see you tomorrow at 4. Stick around because Live on 5 starts right now.